Here is a manual example of a general journal. This is problem 23B from your textbook Financial and Managerial Accounting, 13th edition by Warren, Duquesne, and Reeve. This first page is the general journal, and in the second page you can see that these general journal transactions are being posted to the cash account in the general ledger. So on the 27th, we credited cash for $1,100. On the 29th, we debited cash for $7,600. On the 30th, we had two credits to cash, one for $4,800 and one for $3,500, which are right here. You'll also notice that this balance column is showing a running total of a debit balance. The debits are increasing the balance and the credits are decreasing the balance. Here's an increase right here. Here's some decreases. And at the bottom, we have the cash balance in the running total. Here are all of the accounts in the general ledger for this problem. And finally, at the end, account balances are subsequently taken from the general ledger and listed in a report called the unadjusted trial balance, as shown here for problem 23B. Now let's explore a simulation of a database accounting system to put all the pieces together and give you an idea how a software application manages and organizes transaction processing data. First, let's enter 3 transactions using account codes as shortcuts instead of handwriting the journal entries. On October 1st, you deposit $18,000 cash into a new company bank account in return for common stock. Enter the cash account number 11 and enter the debit for $18,000. On the second line, we will look for the common stock account, which is in stockholders' equity, and we will enter the account number 31 for common stock and the credit of $18,000. On October 4th, the company paid $3,000 in cash to rent a facility. Again, look at the chart of accounts. For rent expense, account 53, and debit $3,000 to increase the expense, and the rent was paid with cash, so credit cash $3,000. Remember that a decrease requires that we debit or credit the opposite of the normal balance. Now, on October 10th, the company purchased a truck for $23,750. Account number 18 is for the truck. So debit the truck $23,750. And cash was paid as a down payment of $3,750, and finally, notes payable, account number 22, is going to record $20,000. Notice how the debits equal the 2 credits in this transaction. We owe $20,000 in a note payable to the dealership. Now, let me show you the rest of the transactions remaining in problem 23B. And scroll to the bottom to show you that all journals are in balance, which is determined by the total debits on the left side equal to the total credits on the right. Finally, we are ready to post transactions to the general ledger. So I've showing some extra columns here so I can explain further. Here I'm showing the transaction amounts in a columnar format. Scrolling to the bottom, you can see that as we present debits as positive numbers and credits as negative numbers, that if debits equal credits, that a columnar format like this will net to 0. Scrolling back up to the top, I set up an account filter in which I'm going to unselect everything and just one by one check my account balances. Here you can see the same cash balances for the cash account that was shown in the manual accounting system. Also, in the columnar format, the total of all the transactions are shown is equal to the total that was calculated in the manual system. We will wrap up this video by preparing the unadjusted trial balance, or a basic listing of all the account balances. Let me bring up two spreadsheets side by side. Let me shift my screen so that you can see. Using the account filter, I can check for the different accounts and uncheck. A debit of $6,550 goes to accounts receivable. The next account in line is supplies. These are in alphabetical order. $2,100 balance debit is going to supplies. And let's skip around just a little bit. Let me look at what's in accounts payable. So I'll check accounts payable, uncheck cash, and it's a credit balance of $9,200. So as I check through my list of my general ledger that was created by my transaction history report as I posted from the general journal to the general ledger, I will come up with an adjusted trial balance, and if I enter my debits and my credits in the correct column and add it up, and I haven't made any mistakes in recording transactions, then my grand total of debits and credits will be equal. This concludes the video on the first half of the accounting cycle. Stay tuned for part 2.